Sometimes it seems like the world is run by chimpanzees, even though some of them might come with college degrees. It's getting hard to separate the facts from fiction, but I think I can say with obvious conviction that in this old world, everybody's wrong.
Welcome to Uncommon Sense. My name is Charlotte Laws, and today we're going to be discussing various topics. Mostly we're going to talk about the 2008 presidential election, but we're also going to talk about sex with robots and dogs that can detect cancer and women who like to wear leashes. I'd first like to introduce my guests. I have here Garret Swayne, who is a talented singer-songwriter, and actually you wrote the theme song for this show, which is titled Everybody's Wrong But Me. And I'm wondering, when exactly did you realize that everyone was wrong but me?
I think I realized it pretty much from birth.
That's good.
Actually, when I met you, I realized that this was the song I was meant to write.
That's good,
Yeah.
that's good. And we also have Ralph Cissne here, who is a writer and creative strategist. And what exactly does a creative strategist do?
Mainly marketing, public relations, publicly, anything to do with public communication.
Well, great. Well, welcome. And I think we'll just dive into the first topic, which you're two single guys. And so you're probably quite interested in this first topic, which is sex and the single robot. And there's a book that recently came out called Love and Sex with Robots by David Levy. And he says that by the year 2050, that we will be dating robots, marrying robots, and they will be just like real people.
And they will be breaking our hearts, just like real women do.
And he thinks that Massachusetts is the first state that's going to have robot marriage.
Robot marriage.
So would you date a robot? I know that you...
Well, I've been to Amsterdam. I didn't see any appliances in those windows when I was walking through the red light district. I think this is kind of kinky and kind of a throwback to the Stepford Wives. No. I think you need intellectual connection to make it a holistic and fulfilling experience.
The scientists seem to think that they can design the robots that you could fall in love with them, and they can design it's like personality, knowledge, having the same personality or similar personality, knowledge, and somebody who likes you are the most important ingredients to falling in love with.
Can you order these robots with whatever personality you want?
Yeah, you can design any way you want. That's what I'm saying. It'd be perfect for you.
That would be cool.
Yeah. It would be cool. It'd be cool for you. Yeah. I think that, and then there's the European Robotics Research Network, and the head of that actually thinks people will be having sex with robots in 5 years. Right. They think it's mostly going to be people that are ugly or have psychological problems, but there will be a subset of people who kind of get their kicks off on this.
I might have already had sex with robots. I'm not sure.
I wonder.
Yeah, that would explain a lot.
I think Chris Hansen, when he's doing his show and he has these people off the internet, these men show up with the child molesters or whatever.
Oh, that guy.
They're going to be, he said, I thought it was a robot, you know. They'll have little children robots, you know. The second topic.
How about you? Would you have sex with a robot?
No, I'm just not into that,
no.
No. I don't think I
You're
could.
married, I know.
I'm married, yeah. Yeah, I don't think so. But I mean, I can see that you could design a robot that you would that would fit your requirements. Probably, I could see that would happen for a lot of people.
I'd like to know if you were going to have sex with a robot. I'd like to know what the specifications are on that, on the one that you would order. But we can go on to the next
just like
topic.
my husband, of course.
Right. It would be
Absolutely.
shaped like very Charles-like.
I kind of ordered him from the dating. You know, I met him at a dating organization, so he was kind of ordered. Recently, I had a house guest, and she was just like freaked out, adamant about the fact that bras are oppressive. You know, men put them here to be oppressive to women.
Really?
And she wanted to start this movement, although I think there was already a movement in the 60s where people were burning their bras.
When I was in college, they did that. Guys thought it was great, but
the burning of the bras, they like that.
Of course, and en natural with the sweaters. But I think that the woman can't be very old. I mean, gravity takes its toll, and I think that bras serve a purpose in that regard.
Well, it's funny because some people say that if you don't wear a bra, your muscles get stronger, so you don't sag as much. I mean, I don't know. I think bras are more comfortable personally. That's just my thing, and I think it depends on, how you're built.
I hardly ever wear bras.
Well, Tyra Banks recently on her show, the audience and her, they went outside and they were burning bras in the street. So that was
Right.
a recent development. But they did come from the corset. And the corset was developed for men so that women would have a very small waist. And the bra was kind of evolved from that because it was more comfortable. And so that's why it came about. But I think blue jeans are really uncomfortable. I think bras are comfortable. But blue jeans, to me, I have no idea why people would wear blue jeans. That's my thing.
Every person has their own impression.
That's true.
Yes, everyone has a burden they must bear.
There's also
Jock straps. Now
jock
that's-
straps.
no.
Well, how about leashes? Like a woman who likes to be on a leash, and she was kicked off a bus in London because she goes around on a leash all the time, and her boyfriend, and she
Right.
says she doesn't do anything. She doesn't cook. She doesn't clean. She doesn't work. She's just there as a human pet. That's what she is. And the
Yeah.
bus driver was offended by this and kicked her off. And he later had to apologize, but he did say he thought it could be dangerous having a leash around your neck on a bus in case it had to stop suddenly, etc.
Right.
And she was dressed in kind of a gothic, the
Right.
goth style.
That's part of the wardrobe. I went to a Dead Can Dance concert years ago at Universal Amphitheater, and I was like the only person there who didn't have massive tattoos and black makeup and a black outfit on. But and there were plenty of dog collars. Spiked.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole lifestyle.
Oh, really?
It's a
It's
very
like
popular-
an underground.
It's a very popular accessory.
It's kind of like an
catching
S&M
the
thing, right? Or S&M kind of
borderline.
B&D.
Borderline. It's attaching the leash that takes it to a whole different dimension. Nothing that I've experienced personally, but I've observed.
I was once playing on, I'm a musician, I was once playing on Venice Beach, and I saw these guys skating by, a couple, and they were on skates, and the guy was sort of leading the woman with a collar.
Wow, that's dangerous being on skates too. You
Yeah.
could strangle yourself
Yeah.
to death.
But I mean, they're making a statement. They're saying that, I'm the submissive one, he's the dominant one, I'm his pet.
Did you, when you went to school, were there students that were dressed kind of outlandish? I mean, goth probably wasn't in back then, but not that you're that old, because I know you're young guys.
No. I actually was in college late 60s, early 70s, and there was just a little bit of everything. No leashes and dog collars, though.
Yeah, we had uniforms, and we didn't ever have anybody. I was the most outlandish because
Really?
I was voted the best dressed in my senior year at a uniform school, and I was so proud of this because I wear like psychedelic socks and crazy shirts, and I went to the school for 12 years, from first grade to 12th grade, never owned the uniform. All I had was the skirt. I didn't have the sweater, the shirt, the shoes, the socks, nothing. And I just wanted to look cool, And about a month before I was to graduate, I got called into the principal's office for being out of uniform. And the principal said, you have to go home and change your clothes and put on the uniform. I said, I've been at this school 12 years. I don't even own the uniform. And they had to send me back to class.
So it was a requirement for graduation.
To have the uniform?
Yeah.
No, they let me pass, and I graduated without
Sounds
never
like they
having
could
a
have
uniform.
used some collars and leashes in that school.
That's true. Well, there's a new study that shows that dogs can smell cancer, and they can also detect impending seizures.
Right.
And they can actually smell your breath to see if you have cancer. So this is really kind of exciting because, there's a lot of invasive type of procedures that one might use in order to determine if someone has cancer, but now dogs apparently can
Yeah.
do the job.
I was so drunk the other night, and I got pulled over, and I swear the cop did look like a dog. So maybe
The cop looked like a dog?
yeah, maybe they actually have dogs actually pulling people over. I'm just kidding.
And also they say that that dogs, it makes you healthy if you have a dog or a cat, that it's 30% fewer visits to doctors, lower cholesterol, lower blood pressure, and lower heart attack risk.
Just having a pet.
Just having a pet,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
true. It's true.
So,
I believe that.
yeah. I mean, we actually, which is very exciting in Los Angeles, I don't know if but we just, like 2 weeks ago, City Council just passed mandatory spay-neuter. And which is really exciting because it's, we're trying to decrease the population
Unless
of
you're
animals
one
killed.
of the dogs.
I have cats that breed. I have no pets, but I have cats, the wild cats, feral cats that reproduce every spring. I mean, she has 2 or 3.
You should get them fixed.
How could you catch them?
You catch
They're
them. They're
faster.
people. In fact, call one of the organizations and get them.
They're faster.
They
than
have
a
like little
speeding
cage
bullet.
They have
things, and they
traps.
trap. Yeah, they're
traps.
traps, and they catch them because
Yeah.
you don't want them to keep procreating. Because you take two cats, And if you let them have babies, and their babies have babies, you end up during that cat's lifetime with 25,000 animals that are born during that lifetime.
I know, they're running
25,000
around my house.
Yeah, you got to get them trapped, and you can call like one of the animal organizations,
Really?
the
And they'll come out and
nonprofits.
take care
They'll
of
come
them.
out and do
Yeah.
it. But right now they kill 500,000 animals in the shelters in California. It costs taxpayers $250 million, and it can cost $200 to take an animal into the shelter to house, feed, and then eventually kill that animal. So it's really important that people not only get their animals fixed, which they now have to do by law, but that when they adopt, they go to a shelter or a nonprofit and get the animal that way, and don't go to breeders or pet shops.
Well, what if you want you like your cat and you want your cat to have babies?
You don't need to have, if you want to have babies, there's a zillion babies that are killed in the shelter every single week. Do you know how many babies they have to kill because they don't have homes for
I
little newborns?
Yeah, but you're saying, what if you really
don't
love
need-
your particular cat?
Well, you know what?
You want them to reproduce.
That's short-sighted. I would say that you are worried more about yourself, and it's selfish, rather than about the animals who are dying in this world. So you need to
Okay.
shift your perspective.
Well, all right then.
That's my opinion.
Or get a robot.
Get a robot. They can procreate all they want.
Get a robot, get a leash, you know.
Get your robot on a
There'll
leash.
be dogs having sex with robots in a few years. Just wait it out.
Smelling when they need their oil changed. I mean, it'll be good.
Right.
Oh dear, all these topics kind of go together. The leash and it all works together
yeah.
very well. So politics, which is a very exciting topic. We've all been following
yes.
this. And this is like, what, February 20th today or 19th?
19th.
So
yeah.
just so people who are watching will know when we're talking about this, because obviously we have a primary tonight coming up.
Wisconsin.
Right today.
And Texas, I believe, for the
No,
Republicans.
Texas, that's
oh,
2
is it
weeks.
March? Oh, okay.
Hawaii?
Hawaii, that's in 2 weeks too, Hawaii is.
No, I thought Hawaii's today. Oh, Wisconsin and
But the last show we
Maybe
talked
New
about
Mexico?
we talked about John McCain, and you said he was resurging. And I had to say that
I said that?
No, I said that.
She said that, the
Yeah.
bright
He
one.
was at like
I said
2%,
now
but now
he's finished, but I can't believe that's the most amazing comeback in political history.
I think this has been such an exciting year because Huckabee is also exciting the way he's come from. They both came from like 2% all the way up to
Right.
being the leaders in the Republican side. And also money hasn't been as much of a factor because neither of them have had a heck of a lot of money.
Romney was the guy with the long green, and he's
Yeah,
out.
exactly.
People didn't buy that. The whole notion of you're buying your way into the presidency.
Yeah.
Well, Hillary Clinton had one of the best lines in one of the debates. They asked her about executive experience and business experience, and she said, well, for the last 7 years we had an MBA CEO president, and look where it got us. I thought that was one of the most fantastic political statements the last election cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he was at the bottom of his class.
He was
For
still
good
he was,
reason.
he was still in there. He was still in there. But
Right.
speaking about Romney, so anyway, we have 3 senators. Senators don't do well in political campaigns.
They're doing fine now because they're all going against each other. So it's going to be fine. If it was a governor versus a senator, it'd be a lot more difficult for the senator. But now it's going to be fine. It'll be, one
Do you
against
think
the
the
other.
electorate really cares what, I mean, I think it's a significant point. Huckabee makes this point all the time that, I'm a governor, I'm an executive, I know how to run stuff. But I don't think the general public, it sort of goes over their head. I don't
Well,
think
Dick
they really-
Morris actually last night, and I actually do like to follow because I do think he has great
No,
insights.
I agree with that.
He said that it doesn't matter that you don't need to be a manager, you don't need to be a governor, you don't need to be a business leader in order to be a good president. He said you need to be a good speaker, which
Right.
of course Obama's quite good at that.
Right.
But he thinks that's a heck of a lot more important than
I agree.
being
I
a
mean,
manager.
the whole experience issue. Like, I've been. Hillary says that I've been in the White House. It doesn't take a lot for somebody to explain to Obama or McCain, how the phone system works. You pick it up, and you don't, and then you just. I agree. It's more important that you're able to motivate, to inspire the country. You have a vision, and you speak, and you do it eloquently and articulately, and you get people to go along. That's the problem is we have not had a president who's been able to get America to move along with him in tandem. because he just does not inspire or motivate.
See, I think Clinton was inspirational, though. I really do. I mean, I think he should have been removed from office. I definitely feel that lying under oath was a problem and perjury. But I also think he was a good president because he was inspirational. And he had the same quality that Huckabee has, which is this great communication, this very likable, loved people. And I think that was a really positive quality.
I think that's a good quality. I think actually all the presidential candidates we have now have leadership qualities, including McCain. I think McCain's a viable candidate. Huckabee, I really do like as well. I think Obama's a great speaker. Hillary, not so much a great speaker, but I think
she's very intelligent. Though,
she's intelligent, and
brilliant would be a good way to describe her. But I also think that she is completely, pathological and power hungry, and
I think that too.
I think the Clintons are scary, though. I would never want to be on their enemies list, and I'm sure they have an enemies list.
Right.
And I mean, it's like George Bush. I don't think he's been a good president, but I wouldn't be scared to be on his enemies list because I don't think he'd even have one.
I don't think so either.
But the Clintons are scary. I don't put anything past them, and I definitely don't want her to be the president. I mean, I wouldn't vote for her.
I have to say, I'm a registered Democrat. I did vote for Obama in the primary here in California, and I was just shocked that Hillary did so well in California. I just was shocked.
Yeah. Well, I have this overriding theory about the Democrats. I agree with you, Charlotte, that when Bill Clinton, lying is almost part of the job description for a president. But when you commit perjury, when you actually lie under oath, and you're the chief law enforcement officer of the United States, it's such a no-brainer. Our legal system is built on the notion that when you're under oath, you need to tell the truth. And if you don't, that is so impeachable. I cannot believe that the Democrats were so foolish as to circle the wagons around this guy, and they did. And that was this is my theory, is
huge mistake.
Their great karmic undoing. Because because if they hadn't done that, if Al Gore had finished Clinton's term, for the last 2 years, he would have coasted to victory over George Bush. And we'd be living under a Gore administration now, and the Democrats would not, but we're living under a Bush administration now, and the Democrats have to realize it's all because of the ego of that guy, Bill Clinton, who himself, he should have put up the hand and said, look, the foul's on me. I've committed a violation that disqualifies me from being your president, and I'm going to leave the country to my capable Vice President Al Gore.
And I still remember,
and then I would feel better about him as a president.
Yeah, I remember when Congress marched out on the White House lawn in support of Clinton, and it just turned my stomach. And I was a Democrat, and that was the day I said, I don't want to be a Democrat anymore.
Me too.
I mean, it was totally, and a lot of people felt that way, and I think that was a huge mistake that the Democratic Party made.
The Republicans are in disarray now because they abandoned their base. I mean, they have 3 stools of the Republican party, and fiscal responsibility. I mean, Bush is just, and the spending is just incredibly, the bridges to nowhere. So they don't have any credibility.
Well, that's the thing that I don't forgive the Republicans for. Giving us George Bush in 2000 when they could have given us John McCain.
Both parties are horrible. We can agree
on
that.
Well, but McCain, they had a report.
I love McCain, though, and I love the left side of the Republican Party. I like people like Schwarzenegger. I like and to hear the talk radio people. I mean, have you heard some of these commentators?
What a bunch of
the
babies.
Anger and hatred towards McCain is unbelievable.
They want some blueprint of this robotic right-wing, monolithic icon that's nobody's going to vote for him. Nobody's going to vote for somebody way to the right.
And people say that they have been the talk radio is like losing its power. It actually has not lost its power. Talk radio is a huge medium. However, what people are doing is they're hearing some of the right-wing talk radio people say they hate John McCain, and people like me who are independents are listening and going, oh, you hate him? All right, I like him more. And that's what's happening. They are having influence, but in the opposite
direction. They're
direction.
discrediting themselves.
Exactly.
Because they're coming off as a bunch of babies, crybabies. I want my way.
It's entertainment. I don't listen to Rush Limbaugh or Sean Hannity too often, but when I do, they're pretty forthright in that their positions are meant to stir the pot and be entertaining. So I give them credit for that because they do a pretty good job of it.
I don't listen to Rush because I don't know, but I listen. Sometimes I listen to Sean Hannity. When I tune into the radio, it seems like he's a crybaby. To put up if they fielded the candidate that he wanted, I don't even know who that is. Maybe it was Fred Thompson. Or Mitt Romney. I mean, America is not going to go for some right wing extremely right-wing guy. I mean, Americans are realizing we've got to sort of start cultivating
Well,
the place
right
in
now,
the middle.
people are against the partisan politics, and people are unhappy with George Bush, who was seen as this accepted, Republican-based type guy. So right now is not the right time for them to run that kind of candidate. That's a candidate that's not electable.
But Bush's strength, going back to when he was governor of Texas, was that he was inclusive. He had all kinds of different people in his administration, Democrats, Republicans, black, Latinos. I mean, he was inclusive, and he crossed the aisle. And so he wasn't.
I think he tried to do that here too, but
He did that on immigration, certainly.
Yeah, on a lot of things. I mean, if anything, I think it was the Democrats. Personally, I think the Democrats are the ones more responsible for the real polarization, because they just decided they're going to oppose Bush no matter what. And I mind you, I'm no fan of George Bush, but he was well intentioned, I think, in most of the things he undertook. I mean, and they vilified him as some sort of a Satan incarnate.
But it was all about the war, which made the Democrats, whole in 2006. But they haven't done anything since then.
I know. I agree. Congress hasn't done anything.
Yeah.
What do you think about the comments that the Clintons are being kind of blamed for making supposed racist comments, bringing up Jesse Jackson in South Carolina?
I thought what Clinton said in South Carolina, making reference to Jesse Jackson only being for the black audience, was just their undoing. And I think people looked at that, black and white, and just looked at it and said, well, they're just doing that same old thing that they do. And Obama's out there with a fresh message and pounding him about being inexperienced. Well, he's a leadership, and whoever he'll bring into his cabinet will be, seasoned leaders, and I assume he will be as inclusive as possible. I know a lot of Republicans that have commented to me that, I really support Obama just because he's a fresh face, he's bringing some new energy and new ideas.
I think if Obama and McCain, or Obama and I still like Huckabee too.
Well, Huckabee doesn't have a chance anyway.
Yeah,
McCain is the candidate.
Yeah,
It's not.
I think if it's
Obama
Obama and McCain, I think we will have, for the first time in my lifetime as a voter, a really elevated campaign. I think these guys they will go at each other and they'll debate on substance. I don't think they'll tear each other down. They seem like gentlemanly.
But I agree.
The other groups out there, they'll be doing who knows what they'll be doing.
The 527s will be talking about all kinds of.
I personally think that these guys will be trying to diffuse that. I think they will actually be making noises.
Yeah, no, I agree too.
I think it'll be
a civil
and they're
election.
good people. I think they're both well-spoken. They have good ideas, and it'll be a real, exchange of ideas, and America will have a choice.
And I don't think it's a disaster if either get elected, because I think they're both okay.
I do too,
and I think a lot of people feel
because
that way.
they both want to unite the country. Mm-hmm. They just have different ideas about what would be best for America, and it'll be up to America to decide which vision they think is better.
What do you think about the whole, on the Democratic side, the superdelegates and the two states that
Florida and Michigan?
Well, Michigan and Florida.
Michigan and Florida broke the rules, and I don't think those delegates should be seated.
I know, but all those voters came out there. They voted, and they wanted their voice heard, and they want their candidate to.
Yeah, but their state legislature broke the rules, and I think the Democrats.
So they should be punished for that?
Well, the candidates shouldn't be punished for it.
I mean, but the people of Florida should be punished for that.
Well, it was made very clear before that election was held that their delegates weren't going to be seated. Neither of them campaigned, neither Hillary, neither Hillary or Barack Obama campaigned.
But Hillary won. Actually, Hillary did campaign, and she won.
She won both of those states.
Yeah, but in Michigan,
so
40% of the people voted, for someone, an unnamed candidate.
Right, because Obama wasn't
none
on
of the above.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Obama's name wasn't on the
Well,
ballot.
those who did vote in those states, I mean, okay, their state campaign, their state party officials violated the rules, but I don't know.
I just don't like the rules. I don't like any of the rules on either party. I think the superdelegate idea is horrible.
I think we should have one primary day for the whole country, and just get over this.
Well, what that prevents is that a candidate like McCain or Huckabee couldn't do that because they had limited resources.
Yeah.
They can go into a place like Vermont or Iowa
New
or
Hampshire,
even South
Iowa,
Carolina.
and just on the ground.
And actually, grassroots talking to people like we're talking right now, saying, my name's John McCain, this is what I stand for, and ask them what they want. And that's what retail politics is all about, and that's why those small states have always led the primary process.
And I think that makes sense. I really do, because you want little people that don't have all the resources to have a shot at
But
it.
I don't think it's fair for California's primary to be in June when it's all over, or May, whenever it was before.
Yeah, right. Right.
So moving it up to Super Tuesday, I think is good. But yeah, and the super delegates, I mean, it's going to be very close, and I think that the March 4th primaries are really going to decide.
I mean, I think the super delegates are going to go with the popular vote, I mean, I don't think they're going to go against the will of the people. I think that this
they have
discussion is just crazy to even be. I mean, it's been
Well,
talked about so
but you know,
much,
but
it's definitely
if the
not
will
gonna
of the
happen.
people is like 49-51, I don't think. I think it's up to the superdelegate to vote with whoever he thinks would be the best
Some
president.
of these super delegates are not even voting age. Did you know that? I mean, it's crazy. They're not just elected people. It's just
How do they become?
Gee,
How do you become?
Bobby Joe over there, he's a super delegate.
How do you
They're
become
people that are
superdelegates?
somehow considered leaders in the Democratic Party.
Could I be
somehow.
one?
You could if you were a leader in the Democratic Party.
I am.
I don't even know if you're a Democrat.
Do they accept independents in the Democratic Party?
He's a leader in parties on Ventura Boulevard.
That's right. Parties where they wear leashes and the women wear leashes.
Leashes and robots.
Robots.
What about this whole discussion about the Hillary's going to get the Hispanic vote and Obama gets the black vote, and this whole trying to bring up the idea?
Well, that dynamic has been shifting over the last since Obama has established his momentum. That dynamic is shifting. So.
That's what they say. There are some polls out that say very different on that issue. In fact, I have one here that says that the Latinos have an opinion that 57% of blacks can't be trusted, and only 9% say that of whites. And there's this whole...
Wait, 57%
of
of
Latinos
say that blacks
can't be trusted. So there are all these negative statistics,
I thought
which
you
are
said
like
that,
crazy.
that Latinos say that 57% of blacks can't be trusted. And the other
No,
40
the other way
okay,
around, sorry.
okay.
So yeah, I mean, there are all these negative statistics. I don't know how accurate, because I don't think statistics are necessarily accurate anyway, but I think that's why
Well,
there's
do you know that
fuel for discussion.
do you know that
on
like
television about this.
65% of statistics are usually made up right on the spot?
I do believe that. I do believe that.
Well.
We have one more topic to get through here, which has to do with marijuana vending machines, which are now in Los Angeles. For those who need marijuana for medicinal purposes, they're supposed to be like big refrigerators and have a security guard. And the argument is that it gives you more privacy. I don't really know why that would be. Obviously, you're in a public place with a security guard, and who knows who else is watching, waiting to mug you. But you can get 1/8 to 1/4 of an ounce for $20 to $40 out of the machine, as long as you have your little card, which is a prescription. And there are about 15 states or more that have decriminalized marijuana. So,
But they're just starting this vending program, pilot program here in Los Angeles, though.
they're doing it in
I
LA.
saw a photograph of one. It looks like a tank. It's not like your typical vending machine that you can break into. But 24/7 access people have to the.
Yeah.
Well, I'm okay with it.
I thought you might be. Where's your prescription?
I don't have a prescription, but
Well, I'm-
people who want that.
I'm fairly liberal about these things. I think one of the issues that really wasn't discussed in the political campaign is like what percentage of people are in our prisons have something to do with drugs, and how we're treating decriminalizing drugs, because these are really medical issues
Right.
that we're dealing with.
I want to thank you guys. It looks like we've run out of time, and I hope we brought some uncommon sense into your life as you putter through your day. Remember, everybody's wrong but me. See you next time. We can keep talking about the while they're going out.
It seems like the world is run by chimpanzees, even though some of them might come with college degrees. It's getting hard to separate the facts from fiction, but I think I can say with obvious conviction that in this old world everybody's wrong but me. Everybody's wrong to disagree with me. That really chaps my eye. I thought it all through so very carefully. There's no point even considering the other side. Still I keep